Hi everyone, I'm coming in live from sunny Singapore with one of the pioneers in the NFT space. I have with me the co-founder and CEO of Dapper Labs, Roham, with me today. How are you doing this fine sunny morning?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm all well myself. Can you talk a little bit about the NFT space? Dapper Labs have obviously been revolutionaries. They've been pioneers in this space of NFTs. Back when you guys started off to now, how has this space evolved? Have you seen this space change itself?
Well, the space didn't exist before we got started, so we created the first NFT standard, the first NFT game, CryptoKitties. And more recently, we've been working with brands like the NBA, like the NFL, and even Disney to bring their digital asset products to market. And so I think the big thing that's happened is when we talk about these products, we're not talking about the technology, but we're talking about the product that people can use. So even the word NFT doesn't appear in any of our products, but it's the underlying technology that gives users the abilities that they've never had before. The ability to own an object digitally, be able to trade it with anyone around the world, and for developers to build new products, games, experiences, wallets, marketplaces on top of these NFTs without asking anybody for permission. That's what's special here, and it's been an incredible thing to be a part of.
Absolutely. When it comes to usability, NFTs have always been put in front of a court. They have always been criticized about not having enough use cases. Has the narrative changed now? If so, how? And how is Dapper Lab sort of making the difference here?
Well, I think there's all different kinds of NFTs. Some of them don't need to have a utility. They can just be digital art or something like that. We have, for example, Ticketmaster is a Fortune 500 company that's launched their NFTs on top of Flow, and all they are is ticket stubs. So the same way as you used to go to a concert ticket, you have your physical ticket, you can keep it as a souvenir. Now with digital ticket stubs, you can keep your digital ticket as a souvenir. So that doesn't necessarily, there's no game to play, but there's 71 million of these NFTs that now exist, and 14 million people have gone in to claim them and keep them as part of their digital collection. Right. And it's like their digital, it's in their digital drawer. And some years down the line, those NFTs will bring value and sort of memories to that person. But for example, the rest of our products, you have NBA Top Shot and NFL All Day, which is digital trading cards. But unlike, you can actually play a game with both those products. So people can bring their collection every day, make predictions, play with their friends, play against their friends, win money or win other prizes. And so it's actually become a more engaging, more exciting experience than really any physical collectible can be.
Absolutely. When we talk about NFTs, there's of course a lot of hype, there's a lot of creativity, a lot of artists moving on to that side. What stops NFTs from the kind of mass adoption that we talk about for NFTs? What do you think are the roadblocks? How are you guys trying to address those?
Well, the roadblocks, the biggest one was the user experience and
Right.
scale, cost, and I think we've solved a lot of those issues. You know, Flow, the blockchain that our products run on, is fast, it's low cost, environmentally friendly, and now, as of last month, with EVM equivalents, it's super easy for developers to build on. And so that we think is going to be the big unlock. Where until now, creators, developers have kind of had to choose between, do I get a good user experience or do I want full decentralization? And now with Flow, they can actually have both. So we think that's going to enable a new wave of creators, of IP owners, and also of developers that can come and build products on top of these assets. And really the thing that's needed for all of blockchain to go mainstream, all of crypto, is products that real people can use and get value out of every single day. I'm sure part of it might be making money, but part of it is also just getting more value out of the fandom that they have, out of the games that they play, out of the time that they're spending on the internet.
Right. If we talk numbers, what sort of an adoption are we seeing for NFTs, especially NFT use cases at the moment? Are there any big players that are adopting NFTs? If so, what are they? And we know that Dapper Labs has been a lot about collaboration, partnerships. Any interesting partnerships that come on with these?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mentioned Ticketmaster, Live Nation Ticketmaster, one of the world's largest companies. They've engaged about 14 million people on Flow that have each claimed these sort of ticket NFTs, so about 71 million in total. Our products we're partnered with the NBA, the NFL, Disney. Each of those communities is hundreds of millions of fans, potentially billions of fans worldwide. And so we're just excited about the opportunity to take our product to those people. There's about 45 million user accounts registered on Flow. Not all of them are doing NFTs because Flow is a blockchain that you can build any kind of product on top of. There's DeFi, there's other aspects, but we think the technology behind crypto is going to power basically every consumer product and a lot of business products that we use every day. And so the potential is unlimited. I think every internet user will have some form of crypto in their on their phones and their wallets. And if you think about it, most of our lives is non-fungible. So you can have the money is fungible, but everything else can be represented through an NFT. Whether you're talking a digital asset, whether you're talking a collectible, whether you're talking in-game asset, or one day real-world assets that are sort of tokenized. And so the token is that certificate of authenticity, whether it might be for a piece of property or a car or a Rolex or high-end trading card. It doesn't matter. It's just a technology that facilitates transactions, facilitates the tracking of ownership, and creates a transparent ledger that anybody can audit at any time. And so it just opens up a lot of that data for everybody to get benefit out of.
Absolutely. For creators, especially NFT creators, ownership, identity ownership, and privacy have been a big concern. Has Dapper Labs sort of managed to address it? If so, how? And how are you guys viewing ownership and identity in the Web3 world?
Well, I think in a lot of ways, ownership, identity needs to belong to the individual, just like we say, hey, people need to own their digital assets. Well, people also need to own their own identities. They need to own their own data. They need to be able to protect access to their private information, but also profit from access into their information in the cases where that is suitable. So our products are consumer products, so we really try to protect the consumer in terms of the real name identity isn't attached to their blockchain wallet, for example, unless they choose to kind of make that connection. But at the other hand, this technology is all about transparency. It's all about openness, and some element there's a tension between privacy and openness and transparency. And so for people that are trying to, let's say, hide their assets and show, then we suggest creating multiple wallets or creating multiple accounts so that your real world identity and your on-chain identity don't need to be exactly the same thing.
Absolutely, right. There's been a lot of debate around what's a security, what isn't a security, and you've been the center of this debate for quite some time. How was the experience fighting or sitting down with the regulators around? It was around NBA Top Shot, if I'm not wrong. How was the experience? How do you think this shaped your perspective of this space, and has it in any way helped other NFT issuers in this space gauge better as to what regulators want? Also, we would love to know what regulators want. What is it that you guys figured out from this experience?
Well, I think many people don't know this, but we sat down with securities regulators way back in 2017, where we were talking about CryptoKitties, and I think it's very well understood that the process of tokenizing doesn't make something that's not a security into a security. Just because it's a token on a blockchain doesn't mean that it's automatically somehow worse than anything else. And so we've been very open with engaging both with lawmakers as well as regulators. Although I think at this point, especially in the United States, we need lawmakers to step up and make some clarity, bring some clarity around how they expect regulators to treat non-fungible tokens. And in fact, they've been doing that. There was a new bill introduced just yesterday, or just last week, in the House in the Congress, called the New Frontiers in Technology Act, the NFT Act, and it's all about this idea that innovation needs to stay in the. We need to keep innovation however much we can, not hold it back, but actually try to provide a path forward for good actors who are trying to build products that real people use to make sure that they're not running afoul of any rules or regulations. So the case that you're referring to, we're very happy to have reached a settlement that says, hey, look, these NBA Top Shots are not securities, they're digital trading cards. We think it does, it mostly, the precedent kind of applies to our products, but it does create a little bit of clarity in terms of maybe some of the arguments that we're using, and that hopefully other NFT projects that are also acting in good faith can use, so that regulation and the government's efforts can be centered around protecting consumers, not blocking access that consumers want into products that they want. That doesn't help anybody.
Absolutely, that makes sense. finally, what is the vision? What's the mission that Dapper Labs has? You've already been in the market for quite a long time. And where do you see Dapper Labs and the larger NFT space in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so our mission from the very beginning has been to make the internet a better place through promoting adoption of Web3 and crypto technologies. From before we even started the company Dapper Labs, before we even had that name Dapper Labs, we believed that crypto is going to make the internet a better place for everyone. It's going to bring the ability for us as consumers to be able to own the data that we are creating, own the assets that we're paying for, have a stake inside these platforms that we use every day. And especially for developers to create products without platform risk and be able to build things for consumers without somebody else being kind of that middleman. And I think that just makes the internet a better place. Every time we've opened it up and made it easier for developers to build, made it easier for consumers to discover and participate, it's led to better outcomes. So our mission has always been mainstream adoption. We build games, social experiences, and other products to help bring this technology to people, make it usable, and then create service area where developers can build on top, and especially through the Flow blockchain, be able to build products and services for their communities as well.
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about the Flow blockchain as well?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
what's the current adoption? What sort of utility or usability are we looking at when we say Flow?
So Flow was built from the ground up for with this vision of consumer applications, not just cryptocurrencies, not just DeFi, but products like games, social networks that hundreds of millions of people or billions of people can use. It was originally built by Dapper, but today it's not controlled by Dapper. It's a decentralized blockchain. Dapper still holds a portion of tokens, but the blockchain runs completely independently. And you know, I mentioned 45 million people have created. There's 45 million user accounts on the blockchain. We've got Fortune 500 companies like Ticketmaster, Live Nation, like Mattel, with Barbie and Hot Wheels and others. We've got Disney has multiple products that are licensed products on the Flow blockchain through Dapper, through Cryptoys, other providers, and now with EVM equivalents, any developer can come from Ethereum or from other networks, be able to easily, zero barrier to entry, launch their app on the Flow network. So anything that works on Ethereum L1 or on any layer 2 will work out of the box, no changes required on Flow. And so it makes it so much easier to build products that everybody can use. So there's a lot of deep tech in the Flow blockchain. It's got a new programming language that adds new capabilities for developers, a new kind of architecture that is achieving what we believe is the most long-term, can get highest level of scale with the lowest level of cost and environmental impact. But the short version is people should just go to flow.com and play around. And it's right now it's so easy to get started. There's a whole series of new rewards programs and other engagement programs that are launching. The Flow team is here at Token 2049 and will be at every single ETH Global conference for the coming year. And so it's just a great opportunity to jump in, start playing around, maybe build on Dapper's products, build something for NBA Top Shot, or build on build your own product or on any number of the other developers on Flow. So it's really an exciting time to get started.
Absolutely. Anything exciting that we should be looking at from Dapper Labs in the coming?
Well, I'll tell you. So we announced CryptoKitties is coming back. So CryptoKitties was the first product we launched. It's had a great life cycle on Ethereum, but we're building new experiences on the Flow blockchain. It's going to be a little bit of Telegram kind of mixed in there. So we haven't announced any more details, but we will at the end of September. So people should stay tuned and jump in there. There'll be good opportunities for early adopters, and we're just really excited about it.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to whatever amazing things Dapper Labs are up to and how they're trying to make the decentralized world a lot more fun for users.
Always.
And we hope that you keep continuing the good work and the fun work that you guys have been up to. It's a pleasure interviewing you, Roham, and this was definitely an insightful conversation. Thank you so much for joining us on the Coin Republic.
Thank you for having me. Check it out, flow.com.